chances that I missed. Some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist. I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. From my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I love today.
Oh, hello. I'm going to get on into it. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm Neutral LaVern, and this is One Street Over. And yes, we're trying to make new stuff work. You know, yesterday, if you were with us, we had Senator Kerry Robertson here, and we had some problems with the stream, and so we only ended up having the terrestrial signal, what is broadcast, and that's fine, because Senator Roberts said he is going to do a do-over with us on Monday. And I'll be honest with you, we were just kind of all over the place because we're friends, and we were just chit-chatting and catching up. He didn't really do a legislative update yesterday. He saved that for when he comes in on Monday next week. So because we've got extra days in the month, you know, this month we ended up with extra Wednesdays and Thursday, and an extra Wednesday and a Thursday, I guess. Anyway, we got some fifths in this month, and so we ended up with some extra broadcast days. So with that said, also Sean Elmore is usually the one that comes in on first Monday, and she's unavailable on this coming Monday. So he is going to pop in and give us a do-over on that one. So we're really excited about that. And it looks like everything's working on the WSGI side. It looks like everything's working on our side. I've got you guys mic'd in. Little secret here. My husband and I are going to be starting a little podcast. I know. The reason why, hang on, let me get your mic up. There you go.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, well, and it's something that I've been toying with for a very long time. I want to do something that is specifically related to the things that I'm working on in ministry. And not just ministry, but my curiosities in archaeology and in Israel. I have just got so many things the Lord has made me curious about. I also write. And it's going to be a place for me to talk to you about some of the books that I'm going to be republishing. I've got a children's series called Pobily Boys, and we're going to be relaunching that. The Daffodil book, if any of you guys know about Don't Forget the Daffodils, which was really very well received, but I just didn't publish it well. You know what I mean? So we're going to redo that and just all those kinds of things. But it's going to be a place for us to kind of unpack all that. I don't know if it's going to it's just, we can, so we're going to. And so I'm using some of the little gadgets and gadgets that I have purchased for that. My new little tripod is like from Mac, and it's like magnetic, and it's like super fancy, and I love it. And these little mics I'm super excited about too. I've got one on Lee Marie, so you can pick up the sound of us through my stream, so we're not dependent upon all the station stuff, because it's hard enough to keep things running for them. If I try to run it myself, then it can cause problems. So I thought, you know what, let's just not even add that to the mix, and let's see if we can't do our own little thing here. So there you go. That's inside the technology of what we're doing on our broadcast this morning. Lee Marie is here. It's always fun just to kind of touch base with her and get a good calendar. I had reached out to Recovery Court. They are so slammed and so busy right now. We got a recovery court graduation coming up on Thursday. This is going to be the first one I have missed in many, many years because I am just underwater at school, and I just can't get away. And I called them and I said, I'm so sorry I can't be there. And I said, do you guys want to come on? And they're kind of like me. We're underwater ourselves, so let's just touch base in a month and talk about Recovery Fest, which will be coming up this summer. So we'll be doing that. But I do encourage you, if you've never been to a recovery court graduation, it will happen this week on Thursday. They try to get everything started at noon as far as the program, but they'll feed you. And it's just always wonderful. And you can go in at 11:30 and have lunch with them and honor those folks that have risen up and done the work to get another chance at this thing. And it's just so wonderful to see their interaction with their families and their loved ones. It's just so beautiful. And I really hate I can't be there. But anyway, if you can be, go and just support them and help them out. Anyway, with that said, that's Recovery Court graduation this week. I brought Lee Marie in here to talk about all the things that she has on her mind to do. You're looking lovely this morning to be so bright and early. You just,
you want to know, I did not sleep from about 12 to 4:30.
I'm so sorry.
Only because I never have a problem sleeping.
Yeah.
But the thunder, and I have a dog who is
storms.
Yes. Yeah. So I was up with the boys.
They were nervous.
Yes.
Yeah. See, mine sleep like logs through it. I don't know why. I got a Great Dane and a chocolate lab that were in the room with us, door shut. They never flinched.
Yeah. Well, our beagle,
yeah.
That's how our beagle is. She was just.
Yeah. No, didn't care. But the other ones did.
Yes.
Yeah. And
every time those really loud thunders, they jumped 50 feet in the air.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Anyways.
I'm sorry, but the storms were rough last night. And my Greenbrier people, I know y'all had some more damage than the rest of us.
Yeah, they had a big power out.
Yeah. And so I don't know what we're going into at Greenbrier this morning. I'm assuming power's on, or we'd be getting some kind of message from schools. And buses, my husband, he drives a couple of bus routes before he goes and teaches your children at Springfield High School. He is such he is just, I'm so proud of him. He is just doing so much, and and he loves those kids. He loves working with the kiddos, and just is such a reward. But nonetheless, he got a message from the bus depot this morning. I guess it was their director, and I can't remember that man's name. I'm so sorry. He's still rather new to me, but we had hired him in forever. But anyway, it's escaping me. nonetheless, I apologize. Got to get him in here and talk with him. But he put out a message just kind of cautioning everybody on the roadways, saying, there's some limbs down, power outages, things such as that. And he did emphasize that Greenbrier was going to be the particular place where you were going to see more of that. So with that said, be careful out there. As I was driving down my road, I had to dodge some limbs and things such as that. So be careful this morning, y'all. And anyway, so very good. Thank you, Paul, is in reinforcing that I do have sound coming through my feed. Thank you, Paul. Okay, Lee Marie, where are we going to start?
All right, so
calendar?
there is so much going on. So I was really glad when you said, "Hey, you want to come in and talk about it?" Because I'm like, yeah.
Let me say one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
We've got Trent Cobb coming in to talk all about the fair tomorrow, because they did release the date on the fair. It's in September. Yay! It's late, and so we'll get to talk to Trent Cobb about that tomorrow. So now it's yours. Go for it.
Okay, all right. So, starting tonight, now I hope y'all already have your tickets for the senior prom for YMCA. So I know that they sold a lot of tickets for that. So I hope you already got your tickets for that. If you didn't, you can come line dance with me at 5:30 and still get your dance on. Tomorrow, I'm going to have Bob Airy on from 8 to 9.
Love Bob, our master gardener.
Since there's so much,
perfect time for that.
Yeah, and they have, every Saturday before Mother's Day, they have their big plant and flower sale over there at the Extension office. And this time they're also going to do a couple of seminar classes at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to be talking about that. So tune in tomorrow on that. And then, of course, tomorrow night, it's Wednesday, so there's tons of midweeks going on, and we have so many great churches
Church
around.
night.
So, yeah. Thursday, the 30th, is last day to vote. So, yes, the last day of vote is this Thursday already. Early vote, sorry. Thank you. And then, of course, Friday, we're all looking forward to the First Friday market.
Unbelievable that it's
Yes,
already time for
it's already
First
there.
Friday's markets again.
And since it is First Friday, I will also be having Pat Samler on at 8 o'clock, and she's been just so good. I've been learning so much from her,
Yeah, and I'm sorry to change, but Buzzy's playing at that, isn't he?
Buzzy is playing at the Friday market.
Yeah, I think he's the one playing it. And then to go back to Pat, what kind of stuff does she teach you? It's all homeopathic stuff,
Right? Because she graduated from homeopathy college, and so she's got so much. Cool. Yeah, just wonderful information. So she's the one that brought us Wild Doc.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did know that. And I got to kind of, I told you there's another chiropractor in town, Eric, over here at Wellness that's over next to Pizza Hut. Same concepts that they did. And as a matter of fact, we went with him last night through Aldi to talk about food and what's good choices and all that. They did like a little tour, and it was so interesting. And so, I mean, the things that you end up using that you shouldn't be using.
So he has a video on that, or
no. This is just something that he does with his patients from time to time. Because yes, we have switched over because he's local and love Wild Dog, but it's just we can't get there. I love him. I just wish he were a little bit.
So, what were some of the cool things that you learned at Aldi's?
The main thing is if there's a long list of ingredients on there, you need to put it down. If you don't recognize everything, because there was a couple of things he would pick up and he would say, okay, this looks suspect, but when you turn it over, the ingredients on it make it, okay, that's not a bad choice, and those types of things. And so and of course, fresh and stay away from the grains, because the grains are just, problematic, the ones that we have. And we just talked a lot about pasture raised meat versus, the more cheaper way that meat is grown and different things like that. I mean, just a lot of organic, just in general, and about fresh, and then first go fresh, then frozen be next, and then processed if you just can't find any other. Yeah. So, but just all that. But Aldi's is just a great store. It really is. They have a lot of really good choices. So anyway, but yes, and I'd love listening to Pat too, and I love Wild Doc. I mean, they're just all. I think they actually studied at the same place.
Okay,
if I'm not mistaken. But
now there is also an app. I haven't become familiar with it yet. Yucca, Yuka, which it's an independent app which will compare the products also for you. So you can scan everything and it'll
it's called what?
It's Yuka.
Yuka. That's really cool. Is that something?
So, I was on a camping trip, and Scott was telling us about that, and I haven't tried it yet, but I did download the app.
That's really cool.
So we'll have to, take a look at that.
Absolutely.
So Friday night market is going to be super fun out there. And then of course Saturday, because it's the first Saturday, so much is going on. The Kiwanis breakfast at the fairgrounds. That's right. All you can eat, and you can do a pickup order. So make sure you support the Kiwanis Club. That starts at 6:30 at the Robertson County Fairgrounds. Of course, the GOP has their breakfast at Purpose Life. Then there is prayer from 11 to 11:30, also at Purpose Life. This is something we started after Pray for TN 2 years ago. We have not stopped praying every month for the county and for our nation. So that is just a little mini thing. It's not to be confused with the other huge prayer events that are coming up, which we'll go over that in a minute because that's not till May 7th.
Can I ask you something about
Yes,
Pray
ma'am.
TN? What is the background on that? Because when Senator Roberts was in here yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
he was asking, he was looking at his calendar and trying to see what he could make, if he could be available for any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, where did Pray TN come from? Do you know what the
So
background
Pray
is on
for
that?
TN, actually Monty Fritz had started that.
Okay.
And the first year, because this will be the third year.
Okay.
So the first year he introduced a resolution in our state that that we would pray for all of the counties, and he actually went out to all 99, 95.
Who is he?
He's a rep, like a Sabi.
Yeah, but
for that
do
area.
you know what area?
I'd have to look that up.
Okay, but what's his name again?
Monty Fritz.
Okay, so Senator
F-R-I-T-T-S.
Roberts, Monty Fritz, that's who got that going. Okay,
So,
he was just trying to get it clarified. He was like, okay, remind me.
Yeah, so that first year was very interesting because they actually, like I said, they went out to every county.
I remember that now.
And so that's why it was all on different days.
Sure.
And that was the one that we linked hands
Yes.
around the courthouse. And so that was wonderful. Last year I wasn't able to go because I had something else. Brother T was in charge of last year.
Okay.
Brother T is going to be in charge of this year as well.
Okay.
This year, though, what's coming up before that is the National Day of Prayer. Okay. So I might as well go over that now since we're on the prayer stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm
That's okay.
I'm taking you all different
That's
directions.
all right.
Well, because you'll say something and it makes
Yeah.
me think of a question.
Yeah.
And so I apologize. You know
okay.
how I am. I chase rabbits.
I try to go chronological as best I can, but we might as well hit all the prayer stuff. So yes, this is the National Day of Prayer, which has been going on for a long time. And this is all of the states do this on the same day, which is always the first Thursday in May. And so the times differ depending on what county you're in. We're going to do it 12 to 1 on the courthouse steps. Jason Royalty from South Haven is going to be doing a big portion of organizing this, helping with that. And Jeremy from the YMCA is also helping with that. And so it is on the lunch hour. So just really encouraging people. I know a lot of people work, but if you could just get off at like 12 to 12:30, you're going to get the most of it.
Right.
Because it will be done probably by 12:45. But, even if you have to ask for a day off, I mean, come on, it's one day a year, to come as a whole country, to pray. I mean, that's powerful.
You better
So
believe
I
it.
hope that y'all will come out 12 to 1 on May 7th, right there on the beautiful courthouse steps. If it does start to rain or something, we will go into the Well in the Square ballroom
Okay.
because we have plenty of room in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
So we do have a backup plan. All right. So that's all the prayer stuff. Back to May 2nd. There's a lot going on. At night, there's going to be a dance at the Senior Center.
That's this Saturday.
This Saturday, May 2nd.
May 2nd, this Saturday.
Yes. And Stephen is going to be DJing 50s, 60s, and 70s music.
Fun.
So those are the best kind of dances, I think.
Yeah.
And that was their idea. They called us and they said, can he do this? I said, oh, yeah. So that is going to be, doors open at 6 and the dance is 7 to 9:30.
How fun.
At the Senior Center right there on Locust. And I'll
fun.
bring up the other information as far as food and cost. I think I want to say it's a $10 entry, but I'll look that up and
Okay.
get that for sure. But so that'll be fun, to just come out and hang out. I'll be with him and I'll probably end up, some of my line dancers want to go, so I'm sure we're going to be doing some line dancing, so you can jump on in and learn some of that. Now, also this weekend, Friday night and Saturday night, is that big laser show at the fairgrounds, and I'm sure you've been seeing that because they've been advertising that a whole bunch.
Oh, yeah.
That's $35 for a carload. I really wish I could go to that, but I'm busy both nights.
Yeah.
So, but hopefully they'll come back. And I have reached out to the organizers of that. They're in, I think, in Atlanta. They might might actually come on tomorrow for 15 minutes at the end to talk about it. But I hope that it's a good turnout and they come back, because that just sounds like so much fun.
It does. It really does.
Especially since we don't have a drive-in theater yet.
But it's coming.
I know, it's coming.
It's coming.
I can't wait.
I'm so jealous. You've had Michael on twice, and I just can't seem to get him on my calendar. Yeah, I'm just like, I feel like.
Well, the first time I got him on, it took a while.
Yeah.
And that was years ago.
Yeah.
And actually, was that? No, I think I've had him on 3 times now.
Super busy.
But anyways, the last time I had him on was like the day after the sale.
Yeah.
And I had sent him a message on Messenger, I think, just saying, congratulations. Let me know if you want to come on by any chance. I've got an opening tomorrow or whatever it was. And I got a text back right away. It said, okay. I'm like, making sure.
I mean,
what?
that was a scoop, man. I was so excited for you, because I was like, okay, that's cool, because we've all been so excited for the theater, and to see that somebody like him who had the vision that we were all hoping for. I mean, it was super exciting. So I was super excited that you got that. So Michael, call me. Come on, let's do it. Let's do this. Let's get on. I know he's busy. I know he's super busy.
I know he's swamped. But so the laser show is going to be this Friday and Saturday night. And I'm going to bring up, actually, if y'all go to my Lee Marie page, I have a lot of that on there. I'm going to do that because that's faster to bring up things here. Let's see here. Lee Marie, just 2 words. My picture is a white circle that says rule number 1, put God at the center of everything. That is for me to remind myself of that, because whenever something's going haywire, I go, oh yeah, I didn't put God first in that decision. So that's my little reminder to myself. Okay, so let's see. So May 11th, going down my thing here, Law Enforcement Memorial Ceremony, honoring those who served with courage and sacrifice. So this is Monday, May 11th, 12 p.m. at the Robertson County Courthouse. So the Robertson County Sheriff's offices have posted that. And I'm going to scroll down and find the stuff on the laser show, because I know. Oh, yeah, just a reminder, the Sheriff's office said, please, please, please put all of your lawnmowers and everything inside your sheds or lock them up, whatever, because it's officially started where all of those things are getting stolen, because people aren't thinking like, oh, I'm just going to, drive down wherever, and they leave something out and then they come back and it's gone. So
we had a really expensive chainsaw stolen off our porch.
Really?
Years ago. Yeah. Several years ago, but it was a really nice one. I mean, a real expensive chainsaw. That's the only thing we can figure, because it went missing. And the last time we remember, it was just Mark was using it and just had set it on the porch there because, we were going somewhere and he just set it on the bench, kind of like where we had left something for you. And you just never think about it.
Right.
And now we have cameras. We see you.
We
see you, darling. But so we see everything around our farm now. But back then, before we had any kind of cameras or anything, just never,
unless it was a raccoon.
I got a raccoon eating my cat food. We have a camera. We're going to decorate. We have a camera up in the upstairs of our barn. It's our cat cam, because we've been trying to repopulate our barn with some barn cats because they keep the mice down. And so, but we feed them. And so there's a raccoon and a possum that have decided that they're part of our cat population. And we have, honestly, cats that come in. We're like, who is that? We don't even know where they're coming from. And we don't mind giving them some food.
Those raccoons are sneaky.
They're just,
I remember one of the first camping trips Stephen and I went on together, and we were unpacking the car, putting the stuff on the, on the picnic bench, and then, sat down. Okay, we're going to make the hot dogs. And the buns were nowhere to be found. And sure enough, I mean, they were like, we only didn't watch a table for like 1 minute.
And they came and got them.
And then we saw on the other side of this little fence,
yeah,
all this bread. It was definitely a carb, raccoon, but there was, buns and bags of just all of this stuff. Like he had it down.
Stinker.
He knew right away, like, all right, like grab that right away,
That's so funny. Well, the biggest thing is they make a mess of their water.
Oh.
And they get in the water and make a mess. And so I've got another water thing I'm going to set up and try to set it up high because I'm hoping it won't notice that there's another water source and my cats will see it because I hate for them to, they need water up there. But anyway, nonetheless, because we've got one sweet little cat we trapped up at my brother's, and she just she's like Lord of the Manor or Lady of the Manor, and she just you see her walking around all day, just kind of going, okay, come on in. Yeah, there's an open seat over here. Like she's sitting them at the tables and stuff. She's so funny.
Oh, goodness.
But so we have to make sure she has water. But that raccoon gets up there and just kind of washes in it, and I hate raccoons. I'm not a fan.
So there's a good reminder from the sheriff's office on my Facebook page. It says seasonal reminder from the sheriff's office. So yeah, like you said, installing cameras, definitely great. Locking up trailers with the hitch locks, storing your equipment in the garages or sheds. You can go by and get the smart water.
Smart water.
Get those little markings on all of your expensive stuff, and just don't leave valuables out overnight. Mm-hmm. And even in your car, I know that, people are getting stuff stolen out of their cars if their cars aren't locked. So, as more people move into town, you have to realize that, you have to take extra precautions. You can report suspicious activity to the central dispatch number, and that number is 615-384-4911. Again, that's 615-384-4911. That's a good thing to write down, because that's one way that we can, a lot of these people that do this stuff, they will just keep hitting. So if you can report suspicious activity right away, it's a lot better chance of them getting caught. Right. And I have to also remember that, I know I've told this story before about my mom, falling prey to that grandma scheme.
Oh, I got sucked into a scam. And we haven't talked about that, mm-hmm. but bad. It happens.
One thing that happened, my mom was a very smart woman, and she wouldn't fall for stuff. But, as she got older and someone called and said, oh, this is this is Kyle. And, I got in this terrible accident. You can't call my dad because he's mad at me and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And she sends off $8,000 cash to Canada. And they said, don't tell anyone. And so she didn't for about a week. And then she realized, oh, no, that was not a good idea. She told me, I contacted our local PD. They said, kiss it goodbye.
Yeah.
County, kiss it goodbye. State Attorney General's office, kiss it goodbye. Congressman's, everybody said kiss it goodbye. I went online, did my own research. I found that there was law enforcement in Michigan that was very interested in this case because they were following people. And guess what?
They found it.
They got all of her money back.
See, and that's amazing. And that was not, having heard your story, we're encouraged to try to recoup some of what we lost. And we were able to some degree, mainly because somebody was impersonating my boss and did it very, very well. And there was just a perfect setup of scenarios, mm-hmm. because I had owed them some admin time, they call it, at the end of the school year, because I'd had the surgery and all this kind of thing. And one of the last conversations I had with my principal was, well, we'll let you proctor a test or something to that degree. So when I got a text saying, hey, can you help me out with gift cards? Because we give out gift cards all the time at school. It's a very common thing. Never thought a thing about it. And because it was so well executed, mm-hmm. There were some MAC cards involved. They reimbursed me. Because once I unpacked it for them and showed them what happened, they're like, yeah, we can totally see how you got sucked into that. And I got that money back.
Wow.
I didn't get everything back, it was an expensive lesson, but I think it was an expensive lesson that I needed because, I thought, because I've talked with Jessica Drake about this over at the mm-hmm. sheriff's office before I got scammed, about how could anybody be so stupid? And you think you can't be scammed. You're wrong. They can catch you when you're tired and you're distracted and you're vulnerable. And yes, you can be.
And they've gotten good at it.
Yes. And I was all three of those things, and they just happened to hit the mark mm-hmm. on the thing that connected with me. And I never thought in a million years about them pretending to be my boss. I've heard the whole scam about your grandchild, your child, and all that. This was my boss. Mm-hmm. And they connected with me through my school email originally. Mm-hmm. Seriously, wow. I'm serious, man. When you look at how they connected with me, it was phenomenal. And when I unpacked that for Apple, they're like, we're going to give you your money back.
Wow. So
you tell me, and for a company like that to reimburse me, that tells you how crafty they were.
Yeah.
And so, and that's not to say, I tell you that because I've heard so many people like myself, I just think people are stupid that get scammed. So did I. Mm-hmm. So did I. Or they're just getting old. Just like you were saying, your mom was getting older and all this kind of stuff. It can happen to anybody.
Right.
I'm just one more thing. I had that weekend that happened. We had gone to a religious conference kind of thing with a friend of mine. And I was just broken. I mean, you know how I was just like, I'd just been kicked in the face, because I was so mad at myself. Just anxiety, right? So we talked about it in our little small groups. And there was a woman there whose father worked for a large corporation. They got scammed for $100,000. Yep. I'm just telling you guys. And they were unpacking how that they do all kinds of training where they will send emails and say, and they try to educate you. Mm-hmm. And so they do all this training. They still ended up scamming that company for $100,000. And the guy didn't lose his job over it because they were that good at it. You've got to be so careful.
Right.
Don't give out any information without verifying it. If anybody ever asks for any kind of number off of a gift card, don't do it. I don't care if they say, well, that way I can register. That's what they did with the school. It's like, well, we have to get the list together because of taxes. And I mean, it just sounded totally legit. No.
Well, they've gotten so good at it. Yeah. And there's warehouses of these just desks with all, they're so trained and they are, they have so many new ways and they're just.
I got to tell you one more thing on this. When I realized what had happened and they were texting me, I texted them back that we were on to them and I shared the gospel with them. I thought the Lord opened a door.
There you go.
Yeah. So I thought, because that could be somebody that's just actually being trafficked and making do that. And so I just said, I'll pray for you. And fortunately, this is not going to, decimate me, but for some people it would. And so please stop it, and then I shared Christ with them, so there you go.
See, and God uses all things.
There you go.
So that could be the whole reson why you got scammed.
Exactly.
You'll run into that person in heaven and they'll say, guess what? I'm the one.
I just love that. But just be careful, y'all. Be careful.
Yeah. And then also with Facebook, because, there's so many, I do not add anybody. If I get a friend request, I will text the person and say, did you send me a friend request? Because those are happening constantly where they're getting somebody else, and they take their picture and it looks like they're like, oh yeah, I know them. Don't.
Yeah.
Unless you know that they sent that to you, because that's happening a lot. And then also those little contests where it'll say Boot Barn or whatever, like if you spin this wheel, if it lands on this, you're going to get something. Those are not, and it's very easy to call up those, I had a friend that fell to the Boot Barn scam. And as soon as I heard it, I called Boot Barn and I said, do you have this? And they're like, no, it's a scam. Like they already have been called a whole bunch of times. And so if something sounds too good to be true,
probably
is.
Not probably, it is. It is.
All right. So I did find the drive-in laser light show information for y'all. Cool. So gates open at 5 p.m. And here are the times. So nightly, so both nights, they have one at 8 o'clock. And that says that's current and classic pop and country hits, family friendly. And then at 9:30 on Friday and Saturday, they have rock anthems from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So that is kind of a little description of the differences of the shows. But yes, $35 for a whole carload of people. And it's expected to go to about 10:30. So, maybe after the senior dance, I can still go over there. Although I'd rather hear the classic music than, 90s. I mean, what is 90s?
No. What are you thinking?
But anyways, that is at the Robertson County Fairgrounds. I know we have new people in town, so I'm going to tell you it's at 4635 Highway 41. And, they have so many great things coming on. And I know that your buddy Trent's coming in tomorrow, so he can tell you about that. So this thing today is, the laser show. If you get the tickets at the gate, it's $10 more. So you probably want to go online.
Wow.
Yeah. probably want to go online and get them.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyways, but I did put a link on my Facebook page for that, so you can go ahead and check it out there. All right. Do you want to do an ad while I pull up? Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
That's a very good idea, as a matter of fact. So we can talk about our newest full-time sponsor, and that is Valor Mortgage. I have gotten such a kick out of sharing this with, sharing their business with you, because it seems like I share it all the time, and people go, "Oh yeah, I know Chris. I know him. He did a refi for me, or he did this, and they're so great." And we're talking about Chris Armentrout. They have an office in downtown, but he says really reach out to them via phone, simply because they're out and about meeting with people all the time. And you might catch them in the office, but it's easier just to give them a shout. 615-671-9178, 615-671-9178, or you can go to valor.mortgage to connect with him and any of his experienced loan officers. They're going to do the hard work to fight for you and to find the right mortgage solution for your life, for your budget, for all your goals, whether it be a VA loan, whether it be an FHA loan. They've got all kinds of options, conventional loans, jumbo financing. Maybe you just want to do some investing. That's my kid, who is a veteran, is and of course they're not here in Robertson County, but they've bought another house and are going to rent the house that they're currently living in. So they're wanting to do investment properties and things like that. Well, he can help you with that. And I mean, you won't be a number. That's the big thing. My mortgage, I've got, a mortgage I've had for a long time, and it's so impersonal. I'm just a number, and I'm looking forward to when I can get an interest rate compatible to what I've got, because I would love to switch over to Valor Mortgage, quite frankly, because that way I know they're looking out for me. Can't really touch the mortgage rate I've got right now. You got to look at that practicality of it, but I'm jealous of people who have somebody they can call and talk to about their questions when it comes to mortgages and to what the interest rate's going to be doing. They even keep an eye on what your property assessment is, so they can, help you make wise decisions when it comes to maybe if you're buying or selling or doing anything like that. This is a team member that you really have to have. We talk about Barry and Rebecca with Exit Prime. They're going to say you've got to have a good mortgage lending company to work with when you're getting into the mortgage business. If I were going to do any investment, anything like that, this is where I'm going to go. Valor Mortgage, because they have all the tools to make sure that I have exactly what I need when it comes to getting my home, making home ownership possible for everyone. Be sure and reach out to them today. They're going to, again, treat you like a member of the family, not just another number. If you're buying your first home, doing investing for your future, Valor Mortgage is ready to serve you. And again, that number is 615-671-9178, 615-671-9178, or you can go to valor.mortgage. Get pre-approved today, because when it matters most, you deserve a lender you can trust. Buy with confidence. Buy with Valor. Valor Mortgage, NMLS number 1210804. DBA of Encore Lending Group, NMLS 1249911. Equal housing lender. Subject to credit approval. Rates and terms subject to change without notice. Not a commitment to lend. And let them know U-Turn sent you.
All right, got some more stuff for this weekend.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. All right, so this is the 4th annual Hymn Sing Eddie Crook Presents. So this is going to be Saturday, May 2nd, 2 p.m. at the McFerrin Missionary Baptist Church. It is at 431 West Old Hickory Boulevard in Madison. You know where Madison is.
Hymn Sing, H-Y-M-N, not H-I-M.
That's right. And so Palmetto State Quartet, Higher Calling with Brother T, cool. Called Out Quartet, Campground Quartet, and the Highland Trio with John Briggs.
Very cool.
So, oh my goodness. Could there be anything else on Saturday? I think I'm going to have to go to this. I think I could squeeze that in right before the senior dance. Yeah, so it's at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Yeah, so that's good. I love it when people pick times that aren't just the standard, morning.
You better believe it, so you can get stuff worked in. Yeah. I love Sunday afternoon events, because that is very much more practical for me.
I do too. Now, also this weekend, T. Graham Brown is going to be in town, and if you have not seen T. Graham do his testimony and some of his songs live, you are missing out. So This is going to be at Lights Chapel in Greenbrier. They are having their 50th anniversary for their church, so they're having May Day, and it'll be a potluck. And guess what? T. Graham is going to be doing his testimony and songs starting at 10.
Wow.
So normally their service at Lights Chapel starts at 11. This Sunday it starts at 10. And then I believe it says special guests after that, which I'm hoping that is their fabulous bluegrass players, because whenever they say special guests, that's usually who that is. So I can't guarantee it, but T. Graham, I have seen him twice now at churches. John Briggs had him a few weeks ago. Absolutely amazing. And then Lights Chapel had him a couple years ago. So it's going to be standing room only. So if you want to get a chair, get there early.
Okay.
And I highly recommend it. And if you have anybody that does not have a church yet, bring them out.
Okay.
When you hear him do the song Wine into Water,
Good stuff, huh?
Yeah, it is so good. So T. Graham Brown, Lights Chapel in Greenbrier this Sunday at 10 a.m. Okay, then going through back to chronologicalness. Of course, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, is Election Day. And then for those of you that want to get more involved with the library, our library is so awesome. The new May calendar is out. We had Rose in last week because it was national. I'll give that to you. Let me get it off here.
I love Rose Wooten. She has so much energy.
It was National Library Week last month, so we had her on. And so there's a ton of stuff to take advantage at the library. I love their bingo, which is always the same day as TFA, which is the second Monday. And you can remember that because Second Amendment meets on second Monday. But on that same day at 1 p.m. is the library bingo, which is educational bingo. So, because just the regular bingo, like, I-17, that bores me. But I love her educational bingo because every box on the sheet has something to do with that speaker. That speaker starts and like they had me for Orange Heart Medal.
Right.
And so it's great because you learn so much while you're winning prizes. So I love multitasking. So that's right down my alley.
Yeah.
But those of you that want to get more involved with the library, Friends of the Library is their support group, and they for the library.
Look at it.
It's okay.
Okay.
They are meeting Wednesday at 1 p.m. They always meet before the general board meeting. So 1 p.m. is when Friends of the Library, they do fundraisers and different things to support the library. And I'm on that. I'm on the Friends of the Library, so you can come on out. It's into the big boardroom on the right when you come in. Again, that's the Wednesday the 6th. Then, of course, 7th, we already talked about that, but just want to make sure you all have that on your calendar, that is the National Day of Prayer. I hope to see all of you out there. If you're at a church and you're listening, please, please, please announce this. If not, put it on your screen or in your bulletin, because we would love to get a great turnout. I know the first year that we did it, Grace Baptist won by far. How many people were there? I mean, I literally probably saw 50 people from Grace. And afterwards I said, wow, you guys really showed up. And they said, you know what? Our pastor put that in the bulletin, the flyer. So everybody got the flyer. So, I'd love to see that happen as much as possible because you still have time.
Well, because, in so many churches, I didn't know about it. I didn't know about it. And that's the thing. It's just communication. And I think that's a great idea, putting that in your bulletin and making sure your people know, we're all called to pray. If you have never read Fresh Wind, Fresh Fire and you're wondering about prayer, read it. I had a challenge from my friend Shayna Lee to read that book, Fresh Wind, Fresh Fire, and it is about the development of the Brooklyn Tabernacle and the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir, and it's all prayer. It's all prayer, guys. It's just fervent prayer, and that's what we're called to do. Everybody raise their hands. What do we do? Well, we're called to pray.
That's right. Anytime that you have something that, you are like, I don't know what to do. Did you pray about it first?
Exactly.
And same thing when I hear people, saying, oh, I'm going to make this career change. I'm going to do this, that. And it's like, did you pray about that first?
Exactly.
You got to do that.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah.
So anyways, yes, prayer on the 7th, which is the first Thursday of May. And then on May 8th, 8:30 a.m. is the library board meeting. Those are always interesting to go to because, you get to hear everything that they are bringing in new, things that they want. And you can also address them. You do need to send an email ahead of time. But sometimes at the end, they'll have extra time. They'll say, does anybody have any more comments? But I always get a lot of great, new information attending those library board meetings. Those are open to anybody to attend. And that's in the big boardroom at 8:30 on May 8th. Now, the the front doors will be locked, so you do need to go around the side, so on white to enter. So don't.
It's after hours.
Yeah, before hours. Yeah.
Before hours.
Yeah, before hours.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then of course the Monday following that, I already said that's TFA. We're having Richard Archie come out. He was the one with John Harris, who started TFA.
Right.
And Richard Archie is now the he's in Memphis, so he's like the West Tennessee director, and he is always so interesting. And so now that the legislative session is over, we get to hear from him about what happened, where did we get progress or not progress and all that. So he's always an interesting speaker. So I highly encourage you to come May 11th to the American Legion in Greenbrier for the Robertson County chapter of the Tennessee Firearms Association. And there's just as many ladies there as men, guys. So sometimes people say like, oh, isn't just a bunch of guys? No, we have like about half and half.
Mark went the other night. And
yes,
really
we were so happy to see him.
He really enjoyed it. So
that was great to see him.
Yeah, he will probably be popping in there more and more. So.
Okay. And then the 2A ladies, it's probably time to get them back on too.
Yeah. They're great.
Because a lot of people don't know about them, and they meet the second the second Saturday. So actually the 9th, they should be making.
Do they meet there at the Legion?
No, they meet at the Guns and Leather.
Okay.
Because they have a lecture first, and then they can all go, if you want to go and shoot, practice, they have a discounted range fee.
Right.
So that's really great. But I believe they are meeting on the 9th. I know it's a Saturday before Mother's Day, but I think that they still are, but I'll confirm that and let you know.
Do you have anything about the crawfish, the King of the Crawl? That is on the day before Mother's Day.
Is that there too? Okay.
I think I've got to get them on. I got to get a hold of Tiffany and Pierre and get them on. Pierre was on television on one of the local news stations. I just saw a little clip of it talking about the King of the Crawl, because it is the last preliminary before the big competition. So this is going to be huge. It is going to be huge, and it's a fundraiser for Sports Alliance. And, they're trying to get together and raise money for a daycare facility to help out with, low-income families that need help just with childcare. And so they're working on that. But I'll reach out to
I do have the time. It's Saturday, May 9th. Okay. Doors open at 3:30. It runs from 4 p.m. to 9:30. That is at the Robertson County Fairgrounds. And for more information, their website is kingofthecraw, CRAW.com.
And, we talk about UPS all the time. They're one of our sponsors. And that's where I got my tickets last year, is I went into UPS and purchased my tickets there. So I would imagine Tom is involved in that as well. He does so much with so many different nonprofits. And I know he's helped out Sports Alliance a lot. So I would think you probably could pop into UPS and find out about tickets, or you can just get them online. But they want you to get your tickets in advance so they know how much crawfish they're going to need. Mm-hmm. It helps them out a lot. So, very good. Okay, what else? I'll tell you, let's go ahead. We're almost
do the break.
Yeah, let's talk about Barry and Rebecca real quick. Not real quick. We talk about them all the time. Y'all know what we're talking about. Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty is. I can't begin to tell you how cool it is that we had Valor pair up with Exit Prime Realty with Barry and Rebecca Richards. Not really pair up, but it's just such a good fit for this show because we talk so much about Barry and Rebecca, and one of the first things they tell you to do is get pre-qualified, which you can do with Valor Mortgage. So if you're coming to the real estate table and you want to buy a property, first thing you've got to do is find out how much property you can buy. What will work in your budget? Because guys, if you get your eyes on something and it's $100,000 out of your range, you're dead in the water, because you will not be able to get any kind of a loan that will help you get into that property if you don't have the income to support it, or the maybe equity in another home that maybe you want to reinvest. Anything like that, you've got to look at where you stand, and that is the first thing that Barry and Rebecca are going to tell you when you come to the table and say, "Hey, I want to be a homeowner. How much home can you afford to buy?" They're going to ask you to get pre-qualified. If you're selling your property, they're going to say, let's do a free market analysis to see exactly what it's worth, because so many people, they'll put their home up, they'll price it too high and it'll get no activity at all. Or they'll put it up, maybe they price it right, but they don't have proper photography. They don't have any video, drone footage. That Barry is just an expert at all of this because his background is in media marketing. He was a media marketing vice president for 17 years. So he can help you with all of those things. Everything you need, guys, when it comes to real estate, buying, selling, or as we say, being a realtor, they can help you out there as well. If you want to be a realtor, Barry and Rebecca would love to mentor you and help you along that way. It's one of those things Barry will tell you too. He might talk you out of it because it's not for everyone. He says, I mean, you've got to make sure you understand exactly what you're getting into, exactly what the time constraints are. He may, say, well, maybe part-time would be better to get your feet wet and kind of see where it's going. But he's going to be super honest with you and make sure that it's a good decision for you. And you can connect with him. He has a brokerage office here in downtown. She has an agency office in White House. Together, they make Exit Prime Realty. One thing, too, if you want to buy property in Kentucky, I haven't mentioned this in a while, you have to have a broker that can broker deals in Kentucky. The laws have changed to where not everyone can do that. The broker that Rebecca works with out of her White House office can still broker deals in Kentucky. And that's super important because I've got a good friend of mine. She works here, but she lives in Kentucky. It's a little more affordable. You can get a little more bang for your buck across the state line. So a lot of people are opting to do that, but then they've got to take into consideration the income tax that you have in Kentucky. There's just all those things. Barry and Rebecca make sure you cross every T and dot every I to make sure you get in the home that's going to best suit you and it's going to be your dream home, and they're going to help you every step of the way or help you into your dream job of being a realtor. They can help you with that as well. You can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com, or you can give them a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425 or 7424, and let them know U-Turn sent you. Back to you there, my sweet friend, Lee Marie.
Okay, so I did want to mention a couple resources that y'all have. The Chamber of Commerce, you don't have to be a member for this, but you can go to their website, scroll to the bottom, subscribe to their email. Okay. Because every Wednesday morning before 6 a.m., it comes into your email box, and it has a lot of events in that. Mm-hmm. So that is a great way to find things that are coming up. I had to laugh when you said, what did they say? I didn't hear about that. Yeah. I hear that from people
all the time,
friends and family, and it drives me crazy because I say, well, I clearly can see you don't listen to the Go Show. Yeah. Because I talk about so many wonderful places to go on the Go Show, and so when people, there's no excuse.
No, there's not.
Because even if you don't have Facebook, it's okay. We're on the radio. We're on, we're a phone app.
Yep.
WSGI has a phone app. You can listen to it there. You can listen on the radio. There's Facebook and YouTube.
Yep.
So, no excuse for not knowing fun things to do in Robertson County. And there are plenty of fun things. Also, American Top Gospel is Brother T's Facebook group. And you can see a lot of, he brings a lot of great groups to town. And so that's another resource that you have. I'm so happy that so many people joined our sign language class.
Oh, that's so good. I'm really excited about that. You just ended up with a great number, didn't you?
We did. 20, yeah. Right? We were almost to 20. Just a little bit shy of that, but it's just so great, and people are becoming friends, and they want to keep going. And so we are going to do another one after that. We don't know yet if we're going to do 3:30 or 6 o'clock. So probably 6 o'clock, because a lot of these people are already coming at 5, and some of them are coming straight from work. So I'm thinking that we'll probably do the next one at 6, because I've had some vendors on Main Street that said, some of my customers are deaf. I really want to learn it. So most likely we're going to do a 6, but I do have a homeschool group that is asking for a 3:30 private group, and so we can do private groups, but you need to arrange that ahead of time if you want it to just be your group.
Right.
So, but we do have more sign language classes coming down the pike. We also have a cell phone for Thursday class coming in June. So
what?
Cell phone school. Everything you could possibly want to know about your cell phone.
Oh, how fun.
Yes, both Android and Apple, which, sometimes people will, like a relative will hand you their phone, like, take a picture or do this or help me with this. And you're like, and so this is everything. Of course, it's like, the basic phone stuff, but also all about how to organize your apps, how to utilize your calendar and your alarms better, sharing photos, video calls, internet security tips, privacy, customizing your phone, common problems. And so who should attend? Beginners or anyone wanting a refresher, adults of all ages welcome, and no prior experience needed. So lots of stuff. I mean, the real extensive, it's just a 4-page syllabus here about, connecting to different Wi-Fis and changing wallpaper, just all the stuff. And so I know that for sure there's some seniors that are already, like, okay, I need that.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, I have people all the time, somebody's wanting to send me something, I'm like, airdrop it to me. And they're like, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
That's a big one. It's like, there's a lot of people that don't understand airdrop.
Yep. So this will be,
somebody's got to show you, or it's
and that'll be something the class is going to be an hour and 15 minutes, so that there's plenty of time for the teacher to actually troubleshoot anybody that has a problem. So it's going to be 9:30 to 10:45 every Thursday of June.
Okay.
In the morning. So right before line dance.
Well, and that's wonderful because that's when we're out of school.
Yes.
There's so many wonderful things going on, but we're in school. So over the summer, we will definitely.
I'm looking forward to the class. I know I'm going to learn something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So that's one of the classes that we got. We also have I know Sheila was on your show last week. Mm-hmm. She kind of teased a little bit, but yes, the last 3 Saturdays of June and the last 3 Saturdays of July is going to be marriage 6-week seminar, which she's done those before. And she was telling me about some of the stuff. Oh my gosh, it sounds wonderful.
Mm-hmm. She's just so interesting. I mean, she's just got so many different things going and has got such a, she mentioned something about doing cooking segments on Talk of the Town, and I had forgotten that she did that. And I knew it, but I had completely slipped my mind and forgotten about that.
And she's done so much with My Father's House. And of course,
she's a miracle cancer survivor. Just absolute bona fide miracle. Just amazing woman. All the mission work that she's involved with, just very interesting, very faithful person. So you will love getting to know Sheila if you don't already.
And I guess lastly, since we're almost out of time, I will just mention that you make sure you get May 15th and 16th on your calendar, because super fun weekend also, the barn dance.
Yes. Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival is what we're talking about. You got Dan Kelly's fiddle competition happening that evening. Do you have a start time on Friday? 5 o'clock. So we'll have anything to do with bluegrass kiddos, bring them out for a competition. Now the clogging competition is for adults as well. And so that will happen. And then you have the barn dance following that. And the
barn dance is so much fun.
So much fun. And if you've not been to the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, you know what you're missing. That venue is perfect. It is just absolutely spectacular. And and also July 3rd, I'm going to be out there. This is way in advance, but I'm going to be out there with them for their big festivity for the 4th of July. Oh, okay. Barry has invited me to come out and host that. So I'm super excited about that. So we're going to do that. But it's a great venue. It just, the way it sets, it reminds me of the way the acoustics of the Ryman are set up. It's just the structure of it, and it's just cool. Mm-hmm. It's just cool there on Honey Run Creek. It's just so neat.
So it starts at 5 p.m. on Friday, and then Saturday the bands start at 11,
right? And
the last band starts at 6.
Yeah.
So it's all day that day. Now, also, I do know that the same Saturday, the 16th, is My Father's House fundraiser at the fairgrounds.
You can do both.
I'm planning on doing both because, for one thing, I'm dancing with Sheila and her Freedom Steppers. Yes. This will be their first performance.
That's so fun.
They have American Legion 45 on the back of their shirts. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And so they're doing an Operation Shoulder to Shoulder military salute and such, and pinning of the Orange Heart medals at the first part of My Father's House fundraiser. Right. So that'll be on the morning of the 16th. So, but make sure y'all just take those days off your calendar and make sure you go to both of those events, because it'll be a lot of fun.
Yep. And the ticket price for Kilgore is like $10 for the entire weekend.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
That is so good. There's no excuse not to go.
There are no bluegrass festivals for that kind of price. I mean, they're extremely expensive to go to.
Any festival.
Any festival.
A 2-day festival.
Yeah.
It's a great deal.
It's a great festival. So we hope you'll come out. So very good. Anything else?
All right.
Sis? We got a minute or two here. We got a couple of minutes still.
A couple minutes. Let me look on my cheat sheet
See
here.
what you got there.
Okay, so yes, the library, make sure y'all were taking advantage of the 11 o'clock Monday through Thursday computer help with Debbie. Because they used to do structured classes. You're like, okay, this is PowerPoint or this is resumes. But now she'll help whatever you need help with.
Okay.
Which is great. Because the other day I was like, I need a little bit of help with my PowerPoint thing. And I was the only one there. She helped me. So I think that's good because, the classes, people weren't going to the classes. And so, this way, just go on in. Might be the only one
I
there.
think that's wonderful because does she know Max at all, or is she just
I think
Microsoft?
that she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that would be, that's my, I'm all everything Mac. So it just works better when it comes to media. Macs are just so much easier to use when it comes to anything to do with media. But anyway.
So just a recap. Oh, I know, huh? Yeah, that's what they all look like too.
It's wild.
Actually, this one's a little bit light, but anyway,
hysterical.
I have to have them down there too. I mean, I have stuff in my phone, but I'm visual, and I just really need to see like the whole month at one time, really big.
Yeah. I used to do that, and now I'm just kind of I don't know. I need to do. I got to get organized. This summer,
I encourage you and challenge you all to invite people to these things.
Yes.
And the best thing to do, call them up and say, I don't want to go by myself. Can I pick you up?
Yeah.
It's really hard to get turned down when you get that call, right? So get the people out there because really we are supposed to be together. We're supposed to be connecting, and it's just so good for you.
Yes, it is.
This Saturday at the Senior Center, fun. Stephen is going to be DJing. Doors open at 6. The dance is 7 to 9:30. Come on out. It's on Locust, and we're going to have a great time. And then, of course, Sunday, T. Graham Brown. I highly recommend that. 10 o'clock he starts, and then they'll have a service. And then right after that is lunch in the fellowship hall, and that is always, always awesome.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys will come out. Those are my two favorite things of the weekend.
I love it. Thank you, Lee Marie, for
you.
helping us out today. And thank you guys for joining us. Tomorrow, we'll have Trent Cobb in. He will fill us in on all things to do with the fair. We might even ask him some inspector questions since he is our codes inspector for Robertson County. And, you might. I mean, seriously, I think I always usually throw a few at him if he's in here. And
then stay tuned for Bob Airy.
Oh, yes, Master Gardener. If he gets here early, we might have to ask him a few questions. But anyway, and I just want to reiterate, too, we had some stream problems yesterday, and so you didn't get to hear from Senator Kerry Roberts, so he's coming back in Monday to give us a legislative update. So thank you, Senator Roberts, for that. And thank you guys for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless you. Have a wonderful, fabulous day. Remember,
Daddy should have been a preacher man, 'cause everybody loved to hear him speak.